don't usually exhibit them, so they do look odd on my face. I thought that was fine. So.
I couldn't see it because Chris's head's in the way. That's why I have it set. And I would move, but this chair is also in the way, so just go on.
Okay.
Okay, Chris, go back to where you were, because now I can't see the on arm. So this is all you.
Well, she wants to do it again anyway.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so the first measure and the fourth measure have the same issue. You didn't hear it because it's forte, but there are people playing on your release in the first measure. Okay, and the reason is because you're going way off to the side instead of either going straight up or in a different direction, okay? Does that make sense?
What do
Or
you mean by a different direction? So it's like I'm cutting, sorry, if I'm releasing on 3.
you can go this way if you want to. That looks awkward, but you can if you need to. But going way out here, if you're going to do that, you have to put your release I can't even. Because anything that you do over here could look like a beat. You have to convince them that it's a release and not a beat. So you either need to put a high or make your direction different so that they're like, that is definitely not a beat.
Okay.
And then the same thing needs to happen in the fourth measure.
Okay.
I would do the fourth measure in a 3 pattern and release in a clockwise direction. And then just go straight down, which will also help you not to have a beat 4 as your final note.
Okay. Should I just
Do the
whole
fourth
thing?
measure
The
first.
fourth.
So in a clockwise, so just practice it for a second. Da, da, clockwise direction. So it'll be off to your left, off to your left.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, only to do it, you're gonna need to pull to the left. Start pulling to the left for beat 3. So straight down here, I can't do it. Pulling to the left, clockwise release. Pulling up and to the left, clockwise release. Yeah, something like, more like that. And now if you raise your release and make it a little more circular, that'll be fine.
Okay.
If you're uncomfortable with that, you can just practice it.
Yeah, I'd rather work on it.
Okay, it's just an option, and then you can apply that same principle to the first measure, okay?
Okay.
Everything in between I was fine with. Okay. Just what you did in measure 4. That's exactly the sort of
Okay.
thing that needs to apply to the previous measure 4.
Anything else?
No, you can go on to number 3.
Awesome.
On your pianos, there at the end, well, it's kind of tricky because you have an accent in the middle of it, but be careful that you don't rebound too high. What I'm seeing, what I saw in beat 4 was you rebounded very high off of the piano and then only dips down a little bit. So you have the accented note, and then it just comes up to slightly above parallel, but it still goes down a good amount beneath the playing for beat 4 in that measure. So just be careful that you're not rebounding too high in the piano. And like I said, that's kind of tricky because there's an accent thrown in the middle of that. You got your style change in measure 2 a beat early that time, which you didn't the time before. So.
And the exact same thing applies to between measure 3 and 4. That time it was a beat, it was just not as crisp a staccato as you'd like, but the time before it wasn't a problem.
Do you, I feel like sometimes you are a little overextended, like your arm can get a little straight on. It was better that time, but just make sure that this isn't getting completely locked up here in your elbow.
Like in general or just on this?
In general,
Okay.
in general, it's just, I mean, your arm is pretty straightforward. I think you could bend a little bit more and probably be more relaxed and more comfortable and not have to work as hard. But I mean, it's up to you. It depends on how you feel. If you feel like this is tense, then bend it a little bit. If you feel any tension at all, because you shouldn't. So just keep that in mind in the future.
Do you guys know why we harp on arm position so much? Because it's important. Good answer. Why is it important?
Avoid surgery.
What?
To like avoid having to have surgery.
Oh yeah, avoiding surgery is always good. But the other reason is because if your arm is in a useful position, then you can be more efficient with your baton. Whereas if you do weird things, you're fighting against yourself. So if you, I mean, that's why we talk about being extended enough, being relaxed enough, not being too straight on. So it will translate to, ouch. It will translate to more efficiency out here, okay? That's why we talk about it.